Good morning, Jai Hind, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, Subodh wants card number.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you take 14, 1 4.
Okay, sir.
Who is ready?
Sir,
Okay, Sanjivani is ready. Rahul
yes,
will
sir.
keep time. Rahul, are you there? Kumar. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Good morning to all. Today, my lecture topic is Indian economy. India is world 12th large economy in the term of rates of market exchange, and it is the 12th largest in the world as per the capita basis. Around 54% of the GDP comprise the service industry, while 297 in the industrial sector and 70 29% in the industrial sector and 70% in the agriculture sector. The main occupation in India is agriculture, which employs 60% of the population. Around 28% of the population employs in the service sector, and the rates 12% in the industrial sector. Economic policies post independent in the post independence periods of the India was marked by economical policies which tried to make the country self sufficient. Follow the democrat society principle with more employees on the growth of the public and rural sector. New roads were built, dams and bridges, bridges were constructed, and electricity was spread to the rural areas to improve the standard of living. Economic reform post crisis, doing away with the control of capital material in 1992, the determine the sector and number of the sectors. Then outcome of reform. The outcome of those reconstructions mostly positive and can be established by the fact that uh, overall amount of investment. The adverse impact on the Indian economy. First is country to the popular belief that advanced economy, if hit by the financial crisis, would not be affected the economy having substantial foraging improve policy in farm work. However, almost all sectors in the India were affected by the global crisis. Lastly, I want to conclude that focus on promoting the manufacturing sector so that the economy is export rather than a big impact. Then India begin in society need to give the agriculture sector to put money in the pact of farm. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Sanjivani, Indian economy. Yes, we are a developing economy. 8% is the general growth rate which we are claiming now, and that is how we are the fastest growing economy. That is a good sign. But which are the sectors which should come up in this era? Agriculture is the one of the most important thing. IT industry is there, solar industry is there. Then there are other make in India drives. Services sector is one of the most important buzzing sector where anything and everything can be related to service. Human beings are becoming little comfortable because they demand everything at doorstep. and that is how services is the largest developing sector. So, Sanjivani, good. Some more clarity if you can bring. See, as a speaker, everyone, we need to understand from the audience point of view whether my audience is able to understand me properly or not. So, there are a couple of things: our grammatical uh, arrangement of sentences, picking up words, giving pauses. So feel about it, and a couple of your own review of lecturette will help it. Okay, Sanjini, I know you are working very hard.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Okay, Subodh, ready? Subodh, maybe some network issue. Who is ready? Vivek?
Yes, sir, I am ready.
Okay, good. Sanjivani, keep time.
Yes, sir. Vivek, you can start.
Okay. First of all, good morning, sir, and everyone present here. Today, my lecture topic is the gadgets. So, in recent years, the gadgets have become our fundamental needs. In this fast-moving world, gadgets play a very essential role. With the help of science and technology, anything is possible in this world. There are various type of gadgets we are using now. In that in that way, they make our life more initiative and accessible to the whole world. Most of the gadgets are fruitful and very useful. If we compare human activity and the machine activity, the found is the machines are more active than the humans. For example, we are all depends on the devices from morning to the night, like alarm clock to the night lamp. There is a no field operating only with humans. There is always need to use of the machines and device can also help us. We can even imagine without being them, like a smartphone, laptops, and some gadgets used by the children and the kids and the old persons also. The use of the use of device has solved the problems of the physically challenged people or the handicapped people also. We can connect access to the world at a single click, and so many use of them. But what happened nowadays? We see the childrens, especially the kids, that are that are efficiently use the gadgets like mobile tabs, and that is also necessary for the modern education system. But this excess use of them can use adverse effect on their health also, such as difficulty in learning, loss of focus and anxiety, and attention deficits. So I remember that our teacher once had told us that everything in excess amount is a poison. So now moving to the conclusion that we need to understand that technology and gadgets make our life easier and very easier also. Therefore, we should not become addict to them and don't be slave of them. Here, I have deliberately avoid the youngsters and the teenagers. We already know about them, what they are doing in a social media like Instagram and WhatsApp. Thank you, sir.
Yes, gazettes, we should not become slave to them. Excessive use will be a disastrous for human life because we will not be human, we will be machinized, we will be slaves to the machines. If we look back, we had radio around 4 decades back. People were having radio, which was a luxury. Then came TV. Life was becoming very easy with the advancements in life, things around us, news were reaching easily, and entertainment was happening. But it was good because it was balanced. Moment on TV, the cable network came and channels increased. And then the Iraq war happened and new channels increased. During that period, excessive channels literally changed our life, our routines, our likings, our thought pattern. Everything was changing. Now, if you take the example of TV, it is nobody can see patiently 3 hours a movie. you will keep on surfing TV. What happens? What it indicates? Our impatience. We are impatient. We that is how behave so impatiently with our family members. We are not tolerant. It has impacted our nature and social fabric. Come forward, mobile has come. And mobile has amalgamated every platform on single device, whether it is post office, whether it is telephone, the basic purpose, yes, TV, internet, you name a thing, it is there. Printer, and everything is there now because you can use it for multiple things. And that is how the biggest change in our life is now dedicated to mobile. We are more inclined to have mobile with us than our friends and whatever other things we used to like once upon a time. You may not miss your friend, you may not miss your parents, but one is likely to miss mobile. If someone is told that without mobile one has to live for 24 hours, it is difficult now. That is the impact of these gadgets. And there are some utility gadgets, but we need to have balance. We need to check our patience. Can we live with such kind of gadgets? It can be few hours, but test ourselves. When there is critical exam, students should keep that mobile away. But unfortunately, COVID has again brought us too closer to mobile to get away because your everything is on now mobile. Classes are there, study material is there. In fact, distance learning is possible because of mobile. But within all these things, can we have some kind of determination? Okay, next 3 hours I will not see my mobile. These small things will improve your personality because otherwise you will be a distorted personality. When I am saying you, we all. That is how we need to check our balance. Okay, good. Subodh.
Hello,
Yes, Vivek.
sir. I have one question. Hello.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Sir, when I start my lecture, suddenly what happened? I don't know what is in my mind, but suddenly my voice is up, down, up, down, up, down. That happening in mind. So
It's
what
okay.
can I do for that?
It's okay. Just listen to your speech because you are the best judge. We are hearing you. To some extent, we can understand what must be your mindset. But when you yourself listen to your own voice, you can exactly pinpoint what you wanted to say, what was the thought process in your mind, and how exactly it has come out. What was missed, what was spontaneous, which was not thought before, and what could have been avoided, what could have been added. All these things you can review. And that self review is one of the best steps towards progress. And that is why I keep harping upon please listen to your speeches at least for next couple of weeks and your life is set. You need not to listen again because you will refine yourself. Thereafter whole life you will make less mistakes and you will be having some temperament and understanding okay how exactly your flow goes because while speaking only you will correct yourself, you will note your points. I don't know whether you are getting my point or not, but this will
Yes,
exactly
sir.
happen.
Yes, sir. I get.
Okay,
I get.
Subodh.
Yes, sir, I'm ready, sir.
Okay, Vivek, keep time.
So can I switch on my camera?
Yes, go ahead.
Subodh, sir, you can start.
Okay. Good morning, gentlemen. My lecture topic is rainwater harvesting. So we know that how important is water for us. We can't leave water for more than 2 days, and it is very important because it constitutes of almost 25 to 80% of humans' body's part, and because of that, water is very important. And to harvest water, to save water, is our duty to harvest or to save water. Because what happens nowadays, we are not focusing much on the harvesting of water, and because of that, we face a lot of problems in the dry season. So let us understand what is rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is simply the harvest of water to conserve water during the rainy seasons and to use this water in the dry days. That is, for example, we can use this water in summer days, or we can also use this water for drinking purposes after filtering of it. The rainwater harvesting is a not new technique. If I give example of ancient times, in the ancient cities of Harappan sorry, Harappan civilization, that is the Dholavira. Dholavira is the best example of rainwater harvesting. Dholavira falls in the Gujarat region of the Kutch area, but still it is in the drought-prone area of Gujarat. But still, it has a very excellent water management techniques. That is the rainwater harvesting, and because of that, this part could not face much water crisis, and because of that, their water harvesting techniques is very best, and just because they flourished in that drought-prone area. Lot of examples are there in Mesopotamia civilization also, because they have the best technique of water conservation. Now, if I are talking about the current situation, the water crisis are getting worse day by day. And according to the survey, I think that Bangalore will be the first city to have completely replenished their groundwater. Yes, the groundwater of Bangalore is simply depleting day by day, just because of they are not conserving water. It is just a simple technique. Just you have to attach a pipe to the terrace, and simply the pipe goes all the way to the underground tank which you built to conserve the water to still that water. And the next thing is that the rainwater harvesting is not the rainwater harvesting is
Last
not
30 seconds.
something like that the environmental challenges happen with regard to that, because what happens when we do the interlinking of rivers, so there are a lot of challenges that we have to face. First of all, the environmental ecological challenges, but in rainwater harvesting we don't have much of it. By doing rainwater harvesting, lastly I want to conclude that while doing rainwater harvesting, it will not cost ourselves, it will not cost the environment, it will benefit ourselves and those area which falls under the drought prone area. So definitely they will be flourished by using the
Time up.
rain harvesting. Giving the example of Rajasthan state, as well as Rajasthan is now growing sugarcane. It is one of the crop that needs a lot of water. Just because of rainwater harvesting, the states are now reaching towards the par level that they are growing the crops which needed much more water. This is the power of rainwater harvesting, and we should practice it. Thank you.
Yes, very essential aspect in our life, water. For centuries, there was a natural cycle going on. But in 18th, 19th century onwards, human life brought machines. We changed the ecosystem around us. We disturbed the gases balance, atmosphere balance, and that is how we need now artificial measures. We need to preserve water. We need to conserve water because urbanization, you see, like Subodh has given Bangalore example, there must be every house with bore well. Apart from municipal corporation water, this bore well, there is no rules and regulations in normal cities, and that is how every person digs a bore well. So if there are suppose 10 lakh houses in big cities, that means 10 lakh approximately bores. Bore wells are like a filter put in earth surface, and it is just taking out water, and misuse and mismanagement of water. The water table is definitely going to get disturbed. And that is how these urban areas are having a lot of multiple effects. How? Firstly, we have done concrete roads. There is hardly any mud where water can be soaked. These concrete roads are going to be the biggest problems in coming days. It will generate more heat because reflection is too high. There is less absorption. Water absorption is less. So a day will come when we will reduce concretization. Today it is looking nice, but there are, to my understanding, many side effects, and it will definitely disturb the environment in a bigger way. So water conservation is very, very essential. Municipal corporations and government has to pitch in, make it compulsory. Every house building permission should be with water conservation apparatus. There are big cities and good cities. When we call smart cities, they are resorting to such kind of measures where new building construction is given only when the architect's plan includes the water conservation plan in that building, especially in apartments, because otherwise we faced in corona oxygen problem. A day is not far off when we will face drinking water problem. First it will be drinking, and thereafter many issues will crop up. Okay, who is next?
Sub.
uh, just a moment. Okay, Kumar, I will give you. Gurjan Saab. Subodh, keep
Sub.
time.
Yes, sir. Sir, you can start.
Thank you, sir. Uh, Good morning, sir, and my dear friends. As we are using a digital technology in our hand, putting our basic information in digital services, it is also a risk of privacy of data without using any special protection for data. Data within your locality will provide the more security about your personal data. So friends, next 2 to 3 minutes, we are going to discuss about localization of data. So data localization is an act of storing data in any device that is physically present within the border of any specific country. It is a very important aspect to provide security to personal data, monitor the activities or transaction or online activity to curb the illegal activities. Uh, it will also enhance the infrastructure in within the country to provide employment or inclusion of technology in society. So some of challenges to implement this data localization. First is there is no specific solution to curb the illegal activities online. So we should work on this, and after the making it the law, it will also put the burden on the economy to set up infra, because to maintain the localization of data we have required servers, we have required data storage centers. So to focus on this, we have to work on making the infrastructure. It will put the burden on the economy, and if we become it mandatory for the all company, it will also affect on the small scale manufacturers, because they have not required adequate funds or adequate infrastructure to store data. So it will put them to stop their business, and it will also leads to shifting of technology, which company are not able to afford the making the data center. They will shift from our locality, and to overcome these all challenges, we have to work on the specific policy on to protection of data, how we can protect it by making the password protected data to the personal. Anyone can protect his data with the password and access the data according to the which company required their data. And government should also focus on providing incentive to set up infrastructure for data center, and educate infrastructure with the new technology will solve the problem. So lastly, I will conclude my topic with this point. Data in the data within the local area and server within the country is provide well monitoring. It will provide the curb illegal activity, but it policy required more specific creations and also required more infrastructure. So we have to work on this by providing government incentives, by taking initiative by the private sector. So it will control the privacy of data. It will provide the protection to personal data. Thank you.
Good, Gurjan Saab. Futuristic issues. Data is new oil. Data security is the biggest concern. Cyber crime will be the biggest threat. So, hereafter, whenever there is a new industry coming up, new software platform comes up, new social media comes up, the biggest concern is where is the data storage facility? Where is the server? If it is within our country, still some laws can be applied. But if it is abroad, who knows how to control their activities? If tomorrow something goes wrong, how to book them? There are bigger issues in coming days. That is why nowadays there is a talk about any person or company which comes in and operates. So they have to submit some of the declarations, because national security, personal data security, lot of things are now at stake. For example, we keep hearing a lot of news about data leaked, Facebook data leaked or Twitter data leaked, this site hacked, that site hacked. All these are biggest concerns. These are slow things which are emerging, but one day it will be a bigger 9/11 type of thing. Sometime back there was allegations that Mumbai's power failure was triggered by a Chinese company. So if these kind of disturbances a country can do to other, in future war you need not to attack by sitting at remote places, and especially if you have a server and that server is having lot of data about enemy nation, you can play around, you can really trouble that country. So future will be very very interesting to watch. You all are now future leaders, future scholars. You will be operating in different positions. Our own personal data is also important, especially banking data, because all of a sudden our banking can get compromised data and you will be left with no money. These are the bigger challenges of future, apart from losing personal data and which can be misused. These are different things, but a lot of threats are there which are cyber related, and that is how data localization or data storage within the country, so that some laws can be applied, people can be booked, there can be monitoring, control, and proper reporting. Suppose data storage is not here, how you are going to monitor it? How the agencies will keep check on it? It is difficult. These are the issues. Okay, who is next?
Yes.
Kumar. Kumar, little louder. I think voice is little low. Uh, Mukesh Saab after Kumar. Gurjant Saab, keep
Yes, sir.
time.
So, Kumar, you can start.
Okay. So good morning, gentlemen. Today I will talk on a very important topic, which is India and US changing the world. So we all know that India is one of the growing greatest economy, which is growing in the South Asian country, and US is the developed country, which is the largest democracy after India. So I think these two democracies are very important for making a stability in the world forum, because we all know that India and US had a good relationship since long time. Although at the time of partition of India, there was a strange relationship between India and US. While that time, the uh, uh, Russia uh, helped India to gain a stability and to fight for the freedom of India. So, but after that, India and Russia grew to become a best friends. So we can see, if we talk about in terms of in terms of economy, we can see that India and US are having a large number of trade, and this trade has been given strength with the Comcasa rule. The Comcasa rule states that India and US have signed it to the free trade agreements, and India and US will be helping each other in uh, cutting down the rules which will is hampering the economy and the trade. For example, recently India was having when US tries to put sanction on Russia, India would not be having S-400 missile system. But with the diplomatic move and having good relationship with USA, India got the S-400 supply. So we can see that how India and US is helping themselves to gain a good relationship. Now we can see that US is having India in the southeast in the South Asian arena, because India wants to tackle China with our country, because our country is the only country which can tackle China and its growing monopoly. So we can see next is that India and US is having a biggest diplomatic association, which is the quadrilateral. The
Last 30
quadrilateral
seconds.
is helping to bring down the diplomacy of the China in the South China Sea. When we say that we are Indians, okay, we India and USA having with Japan and Australia is performing the quadrilateral exercise in the South China Sea as well as in the Indian Ocean region. We are showing the world that in India and US having good relationships. So lastly, I want to conclude that India and US is having a good relationship, and this must need to go on, because
Time up.
it would be very beneficial for India as well as US, because US is also having a large diaspora of India, as well as India will also have sometime a large diaspora of USA people.
Very important strategic topic, India and US relations. India US in changing situations today. What is the world witnessing? Today we have an Indian citizen as vice president. Indian citizen in the sense Indian origin, family. Who knows? Future US president, already indication given by the US president. Kamala Harris can be future president. These are important things in future. I am not saying she will be biased, but these are the happenings. We need to keep in mind. World definitely will be wary of it. India and US has got one of the biggest similarity, that is democratic setup. We are the largest democracy. US had some different agendas, and that is how was not closer to us until 1990. Bill Clinton was probably the first US president who visited with purpose to get closer to India somewhere in 1992-93. So after 1947 till 90s, there was a clear distance between India and US because we were closer to Russia. Cold War was on. Post Cold War, today it is not exactly the Cold War, it is different groups of nation looking against each other, but in a dynamic situation where switching of positions cannot be predicted. China is a, a power which is looking little dangerous. That is why people are keeping fingers crossed. US needs, as Kumar has brought out, that India's help to stand against, to operate against China, because China is such a complex country as far as its behavior is concerned. They are not predictable. Their international relations are very, very different. They they are unpredictable from the trust point of view. We already faced in 1962. They can betray anyone, and their entire history is indicating repetition of that behavior. Hot news is going on. Nepal's border, such a small nation, is encroached. China is grabbing land. They are not following any human values. They are merciless. When it comes to curbing people's voice, they are merciless. When it comes to deal with nations, they are merciless. They may not keep their promises. So this is a new world order where China and Russia also is a different country. So US needs us and we need US. And that is how US is standing much firmly than ever before. US was never with us. In fact, when 1971 liberation of Bangladesh war was there, US was likely to help Pakistan, but that did not materialize because Russia was giving threats. If US jumps in, Russia was on our side. So these were the past equations. Today things are changing. India is keeping very, very smart positions. We are equidistant for many countries. We are not going away from Russia. We are not getting too close to US to disbalance other relations. So these are the international strategies which are important and they are dynamic also, flexible. Okay, good, Kumar. Mukesh, are ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kumar, keep time.
Good morning, sir, and my dear friends. Science and technology emerging very fastly and bring lot of changes in our life. And science is able to transplant the organ one body to another body. Yes, friends. Today's my topic is organ donation. What is the organ donation? Allowing to doctor to use our organs after our death. So can save a life of a sick person. It is a very important because a healthy body can save around 4 to 5 men lives. If we see the present status of our country, according to WHO, only 0.01% people are donate their organs after that death. Friends, behind it there is some challenges in which first the trust gap between the patient and the doctor. If the organs donate free of cost, so why a hospital take charge around 5 to 25 lakhs, and it's a very it's a very costly. So everyone can't afford to transplant the organs and lifetime medication. And due to this, the trafficking and the poor exploitation is increasing, and also the kidnapping case emerging due to the trafficking of the people. And other one is lack of infrastructure and technology. If we see in our country, around 300 hospitals occupied to handle the transplant process, in which around 150 is registered. So there is lack of the technology and infrastructure. But that problem overcome by the government should allot more budget to the healthcare sector so we can make new hospitals and new technology. And government should focus to research and development in the healthcare sector. Other one is awareness can help to removing myth about organ donation. So it can play a significant role. We can spread the awareness through religious teacher and also in the school and colleges. And other one is there should be transparency during donation and the plantation of the organs. And the next one is making online organ distribution norms and the full details of organ donor and the receiver so they can contact each other, and it can make a bonding between the two family. And other one is we also motivate to youth so they can come forward and donate their organs after their death so we can make a healthy country. I would conclude to my topic. Friends, health is a very important asset because without healthy country we can't make a good and developed country, because we need to make a more strong, and so we can protect our nation and protect our body from disease. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Good, Mukesh Saab. Very important topic from our health point of view. There are distinctions whether some of the parts can be donated when you are alive, some can be donated after your death. So this education is must. People should be aware when you are dead what can be donated. So people can take pledge, can donate body organs, whether it is kidney, skin, bone marrow, pancreas, liver, lungs. But distinction, when you are alive, some things can be donated, So that kind of basic knowledge, I think, or awareness has to come in, because this is a noble thing. As we discussed, there are so many diseases spreading. So are the requirements of organs. Our immunity power is low. Today, people are facing so many organ failure issues. Like the other day, when we were hearing Lata Mangeshkarji's death, the doctor had said she was recovering, but then because of her age, multi organ failure was a real cause of death. Finally, she could not be recovered. So, when multi organ failure happens, it is difficult for doctors to plug each organ or recover each organ. So, when there is a young body, if one organ fails, if it is timely given, other organs don't fail, because our body is still a complex phenomena. It is beyond some of the understandings medical science is yet to study. Which impact happens when one organ stops functioning? Many things are there. And more than that, without even one organ, a body or a human starts getting into depression, feels like unenergetic. So, if someone can donate after death or when alive, these can be noble things. And this education is must. Some of the NGOs are there, but there has to be some law on it, some organized mechanism on it, so that the organ trafficking illegal way, it is not taking place. People don't take advantage, and it is curbed, because illegal organ trafficking is another problem for human society. Humans are funny. You give them chance, they will find out a way of corruption. That is the biggest problem with us. Okay, who is there next? Ravi. Ravi, want to speak?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir, keep time.
Sir,
Okay, sir.
Ravi, you
Good.
can start.
Okay, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to speak on the topic of importance of education. Education is the most important thing for human beings. It is a continuous and lifelong process. It brings a great change in our life. Life becomes prosperous and meaningful. It is the foundation of human development. It is said that education is the third eye of human beings. Education teaches us to be polite, so education makes the people polite and courteous to others. They are always helpful, honest, and hardworking. Education is that property which can't be stolen. We can take this property wherever we go. Educated people are always respected. They are respected wherever they go. Education teaches us to be civilized. They can understand the problem of other people. Education provides manpower like doctors, mechanics, pilots, teachers, etc. They can play an important role for development of the country. Uneducated people are burden for the country, and educated an educated person can solve any problem easily and efficiently. He can easily find out what is good and what is bad. He does not blind accept or reject anything. Educated people can change the whole society. They are always involved in creative works. And uh, lastly, I want to say, education is like a candle which make the dark place bright. Educated people are respected not only during his life but also after his death. So a country should give first priority to the education. It's over, sir. Thank you.
Good, Ravi. Education. My only worry is education, is it value based or not? Is it pitched on culture, our heritage, and some virtues which are essential? They are very, very important. Because when we see a person you can check your own families, your own relatives, when there are less educated people, but you feel like they are better human beings. And when you find a person who is more educated but not having value system, doing a lot of corruptions, not talking properly, doesn't have a human sense, this is a problem. Can we have an education system which focuses more on human values? There are basic common sense, because when we say someone is educated, the question is whether it is in right direction or not. Dhirubhai Ambani was not educated, Lata Mangeshkar ji was not educated, still they are iconic. There are many people actually who were little educated or not educated. But when someone becomes IAS after achieving so much academic qualification and finds himself or herself in the mud of corruption, what kind of education is this? When someone is educated and throws out parents, the question arises, what kind of education is this? When there is a marriage and marriage is not successful despite the fact that both male and female are highly educated, what kind of education is this? So we need education pitched on human aspects. We are humans. Our education is supplementary for our peace and happiness and progress. Unfortunately, education is just taken as career oriented education, and career is just one of the aspect of life, not the complete life. So I hope I am making clear what I mean to say, everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Omkar, ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ravi, can you keep time?
Yes, sir. Omkar, please start.
Okay, sir. Good morning, friends. Today's my lecture topic is space junk in space exploration. Fortunately, at the moment, space junk doesn't poses a huge risk to our exploration efforts. The biggest danger it poses is to other satellite in orbit. These satellites have to move out of the way of all this incoming space junk to make sure that doesn't get hit and potentially damage. In total, across all satellites, hundred of collision avoidance maneuvers are performed every year, including by the International Space Station, where astronauts live. Now, today's date, 112 spacecraft missions are done, three nano satellite and one micro satellites. Total 82 launches missions are successfully held by the world. There are in 12 student satellite and two re-enter missions. How does space junk get into the space? All the space junk is the result of us launching object from the Earth, and it remain still in the orbit until it re-enter the atmosphere. Some object in lower orbit of a few hundred kilometers can return quickly. They often re-enter the atmosphere after a few days of the part. They burn up so they didn't reach to ground. But debars or satellites left higher altitude of 36,000 kilometers, where the communications and weather satellite are often placed in the geostationary orbit, can continue to circle Earth for 100 or even 1,000 of years. But there is after the use, the satellite having no use in space, so it getting waste at the space. It is harmful for the space and for Earth also. The space junk is, while there are about 2,200 active satellites orbiting Earth at the moment, there are also 3,000 dead ones littering space, which revolves in the orbit. What more, there are around 34,000 pieces of space junk bigger than 10 centimeters in size and millions of
Last 30 seconds, sir.
smaller pieces that could nonetheless prove disastrous if they hit someone else. So, lastly, I want to conclude that the the space junk is harmful for everyone, for the space and for the earth also. We have to manage the space junk, and the satellite as we send in the geostationary orbit, we have to also the facility to
Time
come
up.
back on the earth and destroy it successfully. Thank you.
Good new topic, space junk. But in our lifetime, probably in your lifetime, you will see this topic how serious it becomes. We never learn, humans never learn from mistakes. We created plastic and we are dealing with it. We are launching so many satellites. Launching, we are focusing, but what about after its uses? How to retrieve it or how to neutralize it? What Omkar was highlighting, there are different sizes objects orbiting at tremendous speed in the outer orbit, in the Earth's atmosphere, in the space, and they are now uncontrolled, right from maybe 1 centimeter diameter to bigger sizes objects are flying, and the speed is tremendous, more than 18,000 miles per hour. This speed is dangerous. And when Elon Musk and other companies, when they are planning to put human beings into space as a tourism, a day is not far off. We will have accidents in air very soon. We have created problems and we are going to face it because we don't have any mechanism. Probably we need a mechanism to collect these all tremendously high flying objects, high speed objects. But it is not easy now because at such speed, if you take your minds to aircraft accidents, even a small bird can cause aircraft accident in air. So this is the effect, this is the possibility of damage. We will lose humans when they go as tourists in space in near future. The space shuttles will get damaged, destroyed, and they will also become debris, and they will also revolve around in the orbit the way other objects are flying. This is just speculation, wild guess, but I think it will be a possibility and it is going to happen. uh, I see a new member, Digvijay. You want to introduce Digvijay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, just introduce. You want to speak also on any topic?
I try, sir.
Okay, go ahead. We will not keep time. Just 2 to 3 minutes. You can speak.
Good morning, all of you. My name is Digvijay Mishra. I am from Kannad, Aurangabad. Currently, I live in Maratha Hostel, Samarth Nagar. I have done my graduation in BSc Agriculture from Vaizapur. And thank you for letting me join in this good initiative. Today's my topic is language. A different language is a different vision of life. So, learning a new language is to adapt a new soul in you. Language tell us where humans come and where they are heading. Language improves communication, and communication is helping to build a social harmony and trust in society. So I hope we learn new language and make a better human to explore a new world and explore itself. So thank you, sir.
Okay, good, Digvijay. Uh, Language. The other day I had come to hostel and spoken. We need to learn one foreign language, and that is English, because that is the need of the hour. Today, at world level, English is spoken by many people. French is also spoken, but we need to follow our requirement because our curriculum, a lot of study materials are in English. So why not to learn it in a better way? Secondly, communication skills are revolving around English. We need that language, whether we like it or not. And when I had mentioned that once you learn it, it is up to you. Seeing the forum, you use your language. Be comfortable in that language. You see, there were people, PV Narsirao. To my understanding, he was knowing 14 languages, reading and speaking. He was good at these many languages. So, if you want to improve your personality, you need to know languages where you can go communicate with people. So basically, if someone is from Maharashtra, three languages I feel are essential: your own native Marathi language, second is national Hindi, and the third one is English for your professional operation. Because you may be doing any business, any job, English has become essential in that. So these three language bare minimum: your mother tongue, national language Hindi, and English. And apart from that, if you can add one more language, it is easy nowadays. Online education is there. You can subscribe to any course. It is easy, and it is a fun. Happiness can be taken out from any activity. Learning language is also a very very entertaining thing, because human psychology really gets happy. You feel proud when you learn or acquire new skill, new knowledge, new expertise. This is how our happiness index improves. So focus on presently English communication skills and improvement, vocabulary, sentence formation. Listen to good speeches. Here also you practice, review your own performances, and you will be just couple of months, couple of weeks, and lifelong it will be a benefit for you. Okay, we will have last speaker, Amruta.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll ask Vivek or
Yes, sir. Yes.
okay, keep time.
Okay. Ma'am, you can start.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Today's lecture topic is book can be our best friends. Life is not easy to live without friends. When it comes to books, they can be our best friends ever. Good books enriches our mind with good thoughts and knowledge just like a good friend. We cannot feel alone in the company of books. We can learn many good things while reading a book. Book written by famous and experienced people help us to become a better human being and also teaches us how to serve the society in the best possible way. When we are alone, we can always pick up a book and start reading and feel relaxed. Books are our best friends because they inspire us to do great things in life and overcome our failures. We learn a lot from good books just like a good friends. Books can be good or bad, but it is our responsibility to choose them wisely. Friendship with good books makes you good person, and a friendship with bad books makes you bad person. Book will always be there for you in your bad times. Book teach us to have dreams. Books bring positive value to our life. Books teaches us different types of qualities. When we go to read some books, the all books are consist of these qualities they teach us. Qualities of some qualities like being smart, have a good capacity to learn, bravery, braveness, ready to face problem with courage, never give up attitude, nothing is impossible. These thoughts book teaches. Be compassionate, show positive feeling to others. Like some novels or some imaginative books,
My
they
30 seconds.
compassionation. Okay. Be humble, be thankful, help others, be positive, and good moral values. How this book teaches these qualities. I will give one book example that is Man's Search for Living. This is written by Dr. Frankl, and in this book, I find these all qualities are shown or written because it is his life journey and topic
Kind of.
logotherapy described in it. Thank you, sir.
Good, Amruta. Very nice. Amruta, are you working on your accent pronunciations? Is there
The
any deliberate efforts?
Not really, sir, but sometimes when I read words for vocabulary that way. I
Okay,
have downloaded one application which helped to pronunciate like an American and US and UK accent, but it's really hard to pronounce because my tongue don't turn like that.
okay, good. It is quite obvious. Good. One day you will be having a very good accent. You're working on it. That is, I could make out. Secondly, about reading books. How many books you have read? Noteworthy, some famous.
Sir, I just started last year because of my maternal uncle. He loves to read book and he gifted me one book. It is a novel by Chetan Bhagat. And after that, my director also told me to read and some he have gave some lecture to my parents too. तो उसके बाद मैंने nearly 6 books पढ़ी है और अभी चालू है 3 books. That's also.
Good. A very good habit you are developing, and I request others also develop this habit. Even I am lacking on it to, I'm not up to the desired level which I want to be. But this is something is very good habit if you can cultivate. I have seen people religiously 1 hour they read, whether immediately after waking up or before going to sleep. Somewhere you have to find out time, because when the other day in hostel I had said you must talk to yourself. So book, while reading book, you are talking to author, but there is some connection to your own self. There is something which will improve your thought process, which will connect your mind and body to that book. And more than that, there is likely to be impact whatever you are reading. So what Amruta was saying, good books. One should read good books which will have positive effect on you. Select books and make a target. Ki, okay, this month I have to read this book, 1 or 2. You need not be very, very fast. Have your own pace. You can have multi-purpose aim in that. You can focus improving English, because every author has got different level of English. If you are choosing English books, then the thought process, knowledge. If you are reading autobiography, then it will have a different purpose. But when you are reading about personality development or some kind of fictions or whatever, fiction, so I don't recommend. But go for leadership oriented or biographies or some kind of notable books which you feel like I must read for future profession point of view, whatever respective professions you are going to head, whatever targets you have in your life related to that, also you must pick up books. It will be good. Very nice, we had good session. I don't think anyone is remaining. Continue doing your good works, be engaged with your studies, be focused, and value
Sir,
time, respect time. Okay, anyone, anything, or should we close?
sir,
Yes, Ravi.
sir, I would like to ask something, Amruta ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
you expressed today's talk very well, and your pronunciation also is quite good. So,
Thank you.
and you said you read some books. So, I
Yes.
want to ask you which is really a good book for reading. If you have read any other's book, can you mention, please?
Thank you. Are you Maharashtrian?
Yes.
ओके. पहिलं बुक होतं श्यामची आई. खूपच छान आहे ते. लाईफ चेंजिंग होतं. त्याच्यानंतर होतं चाणक्य नीती. आणि
Okay.
1 मिनिट.
मॅम, पण असं मला असं वाटतं, की हे बुक तुम्ही जे सांगताय ते मराठीमध्ये आहेत आणि ते मी पण वाचलेले आहेत. असं कोणतं बुक आहे का ते इंग्लिशमध्ये तुम्ही वाचलं आणि ते चांगलं वाटलंय?
Yes, sir. You can go for Impossible Questions by J. Krishnamurti. It is about spirituality and
ओके,
personal development, rudest book ever, and The Gift of Imperfection. These 2 books are really great to develop ourselves.
ओके. थँक यू मॅम. आय विल डेफिनेटली search these books and I will read it.
Yeah, yes, you can search them. We have 2, 3 websites where PDF forms are free, and I
Okay.
those 2 books, Gift of Imperfection and The Rudest Book Ever, from that. They are, they are free.
Okay, definitely, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good. You can use this platform. It is open for that. You can share if there is a PDF book. Amruta, you can put in that group so that if anyone is interested can read it. But I recommend go for hard copies because your eyesight, I'm worried on that.
Yes, sir,
Because
definitely.
more you spend time on screen, if the screen is good, I don't know that people say there are some screens or filtrations, but I don't believe. So it is better you go for natural reading. If it is unavoidable, you are traveling, that time you must read through laptop or mobile screen, that is okay. But don't develop it as a permanent feature. That is my recommendation. Okay, we will call it a day. Bye. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind.
Jai
Jai
Hind,
Hind,
sir.
sir.
Jai Hind, sir. Thank you.
Jai Hind, sir.